Well, hello.
Hi there. I sincerely apologize. I completely blanked out about
That's
tonight.
okay. That's all right. Are you okay now to do it, or do you want to
I'm,
reschedule another time?
no, I'm very good for right now. Now it's just fine for me.
Oh, man. Thanks so much, Isaac. I appreciate you making yourself available. That's fantastic.
No problem at all.
Well, I'm going to mute my phone so it doesn't disturb us when we're visiting, and
Okay.
uh, and I'm really grateful for your time. I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing these interviews, and it's part of a new playlist on YouTube. So this is the purpose of these is to kind of help other people make a decision about what kind of chair to get. You know, they can read reviews and they can read my articles and see my videos, but when they hear it from people that actually own the chairs and have been through the experience, it's a
Yeah.
little bit more meaningful to them. And so that's the purpose of these. So this
Sure.
is very, very helpful information. I'm sure you'll give us.
Great.
Now, I'll just ask you a bunch of questions if you don't mind, just casual. If you have any input, anything that comes to mind, feel free to share it. But
Sure.
now you own the Osaki OS 4000, is that correct?
I do. That's right.
Okay. Now, what was it that when you first started looking for a massage chair, what was it that was like? Why were you looking for it? What was it that was the impetus behind the search?
Well, so I began with a sitting in one, actually. And so I had the experience at a Brookstone store sitting in one of their chairs.
Hmm.
And I loved, so the feeling of it reminded me, I just recently completed a move. And in the previous place that I lived, we had a chiropractor that we went to weekly.
Okay.
And as I sat in the massage chair and felt it really working on my back, and I sit at a desk all day long. And so as I was feeling that, it reminded me of getting adjusted regularly. And it was a fantastic feeling. I said, now that we don't have a chiropractor where I'm living now, I would love to have something that could keep me limbered up and not as tight as I felt like I was getting. So it was a fantastic find for me in absence of having a chiropractor in our new city.
Now, have you found that with the chair, it has taken care of a lot of the complaints that you had when you went to the chiropractor? The reason I ask is because I'm a chiropractor. I don't practice
Yeah,
anymore, but I
yeah.
first got a massage chair in my clinic just for people to sit on while they were waiting for therapy from myself or our massage therapist. Well, it turned out that a couple of them bought these chairs from me, asked if they could buy them, and I got them a deal. I wasn't really selling them at the time, but I was able to get them chairs, and I
Yeah.
never saw them for 6 months. And they used to come in one used to come in every week, the other one used to come in every few weeks. And when I saw both of them later down the road, both of them said that the chair took care of their problems. They didn't need to come see me as often.
Absolutely. It loosens up, especially in your lower back and your upper back. It loosens up just like an adjustment, really loosens up those muscles. And I mean, I don't know the details of it, but I'm sure on the spine, it gets some motion there that you wouldn't normally get unless you were stretching or doing some kind of physical activity regularly. And the chair just absolutely provided the kind of comfort and muscle relaxation that I was looking for. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, have you noticed any other things from the chair? Like the reason I'm asking is because some people buy it for, well, most people buy it for because a back pain or neck pain or stress relief, but then they'll
Yep.
notice other things like, geez, I sleep better, or I can breathe deeper, or I stand taller. Have you noticed? And I've even seen weird things like diabetics saying that they've got sensation back in their feet at least
Mm-hmm.
temporarily. Have you
Mm-hmm.
noticed any other symptomatic relief or therapeutic benefits from them?
Well, I've definitely been sleeping better. I'll say that. Being able to really go to bed relaxed. So it's one thing that pretty often I'll sit in a massage chair after a day at the office right before going to bed. Absolutely feels fantastic. And then as I lay down, I mean, sometimes you lay down and you just feel like a tension. And I
Hmm.
mean, I did for sure for a while, especially sitting at a keyboard typing all day. And being able to lay down and not feel any of that, just immediately falling asleep, that was definitely an added benefit to the relaxation. I mean, there's no feeling in the world like sitting in a massage chair and I'll just say whenever I do work or help someone move or do some kind of physical activity, it's so rewarding to know when I'm done with this, I'll just be able to go back and have a massage coming for whatever length that I
Yeah.
want, whatever length of time. It's a fantastic feeling.
Are you a pretty active guy? Like, are you, sports or whatnot?
Yes, absolutely. I love sports, play them quite often,
Yeah.
as much as I can to get outdoors. I like
Yeah.
that, but I don't get as much of a chance to do it as I would like to,
Yeah.
and mainly just because of my work time. I spend most of my time on a computer.
Well, how often do you use a chair? I mean, probably in the beginning you use it more often, I suspect. But I
Yep.
just interviewed someone yesterday that they've had their chair for 3 years and they still use it at least 5 days a week. How is your schedule?
So I wouldn't say 5 days a week, but definitely 3 to 4 times a week. And some of those would be on a day after some kind of an activity. I would
Yeah.
find myself kind of morning and then a couple of times at night. So there's definitely periods where it's more needed, but pretty regularly there's about two or so regular times that I would get in it. And then just as I go through the week, slip in an opportunity here and there. But I definitely
Right.
sat in it more when we first got it. But what's great is it's not just me. I'm able to use it. My wife's able to use it. And then anytime we have several guests over to our house every week, we have some events over here. And often, the group comes in and immediately one person claims the chair and then they get out, the next person claims the chair. So
Yeah.
it's getting lots of use.
Yeah.
But I myself am probably getting about 3 to 4 uses out of it per week.
Well, that's awesome. And how long have you had the chair for now?
So we've had it for almost a year now. So it's coming up on a year.
Okay. When people come into a home and they see a massage chair, it's kind of like this magnet. Everybody just is drawn to it. And
Yes,
I mean, we have so many referrals in our business, mostly because of people like you that have a chair sitting in their living room or wherever, and someone comes over, sits in it, and they think, "Holy cow, I've got to have one of these." But yeah,
absolutely.
that's a big source of our business growth is people. Your chair effectively becomes a salesman for our business.
Absolutely. And as soon as someone sits in it, they're sold. They just, oh, I can't tell you how many people have said, I need one of these to me. I've heard that numerous times.
Well, awesome. Now just remember to give them our card.
I can do that,
I'm
definitely.
gonna hold you. I'm gonna send you some.
Certainly. And I'll say this as far as, and I mean, this is just helping me in the process. Anyone who is interested in a chair, by all means, the research and information you provided on your website absolutely sealed the deal for me. I was looking for a resource like yours. Most resources I found were sales centered. And so they said, hey, buy this, hey, buy this. Whereas when I came across yours, it was some solid comparison of information. And that's where, if anyone were to say, I'm in the market for a massage chair, do you know where I could get some information about one? By all means, your website was key in helping me finally cross that threshold and say I know enough to make such a large purchase and be confident that I'm
Yeah.
getting exactly what I want.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, and you touched on so many good points there. I mean, I appreciate the compliment about our site, but you spoke to the idea that, this is a large amount of money.
Yes.
You can't. There are very few places to sit on these chairs. So
Right.
the next best thing is a referral from a friend or
Yes.
being able to find articles or videos to at least demo the chair so you get some idea of what you're getting into. But
Yes.
most people don't realize that when you actually sit in the chair, it's a very different experience than just reading about it and
That
getting
is
the
true.
content on it. So, uh,
Yes.
but we try to give you the next best thing, and that obviously helped you in your decision-making
It
process.
did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, from the start, from the inception of the idea of a massage chair to the actual purchase, what would you say was that period of time? How long was
Ooh.
that time?
I was definitely thinking about it for, I want to say about 6 months. It was on my mind. And it was, at first the idea, this would be great. And then I, looked a little bit and then put it aside and then came back and looked some more. And it stayed with me, but I wasn't ever able to mentally pull the trigger until, like I said, I found a resource that made me say, I know. And here's again the thing: I'd sat in a chair at Brookstone, which was the inception of that idea. Sitting in that chair,
Hmm.
when I love this and I'd like to get this chair. That chair is very expensive, and I was like, I don't know. And then as I researched, coming across an article you wrote comparing that chair to the Osaki chair, immediately light bulbs went off. I said, this might be what I'm looking for. And that was about maybe a month before I finally engaged in the purchase. And that's really what kind of made it go a lot faster and really heightened in my mind. I can do this. This is what I want. And I've been thinking about it for a long time. And this will be the solution to what I'm looking for.
Awesome. And that you just made me think of another question.
Sure.
When it came to making the decision about getting a chair, what was the biggest determining factor of getting the chair? Was it price? Was it support from us? Was it information that you gain? What would you say was the biggest determining factor of getting the chair that you got and where you got it?
Mm. I would say the experience I had in a store sitting in one, I wanted that same experience or better.
Okay.
Right. And so for me, I needed to know that the chair I was looking at would provide a similar experience, because I know when I sat in the chair and did the little demo in the store, I just said, this is everything that I want. It's got the arm compression for me for typing. It's got the leg compression if I've been out running. It's got the back. It's got every feature that I want. And so for me, price was important, but even if I got a good deal, I looked at some cheaper chairs and didn't feel like they were on par with what I'd sat in. And I said, I need that experience at least, if not more. And was pleasantly surprised the Osaki chair actually, I believe, turned out to be a better chair than the one that I'd sat in. And so that requirement was definitely fulfilled.
Well, that's great. And I'd have to say that 4,000 is a great bang for the buck. I mean, what you're getting for it compared to the chairs that you sat in initially, that 4,000 it's a very good chair. It's a good bang for the buck.
I would recommend it to anyone, anywhere, anytime. At that price point and with the amount of features it has, I was so pleased with the purchase.
Awesome. Now, you say you've had it about a year. Have you had any problems with it that required some customer support from Osaki?
Not at all. It has been flawless in its performance.
Knock on wood.
Yes, yes.
Oh, knock on wood. Now, was most of your homework did you read a lot of articles? Did you spend a lot of time watching videos? Did you read reviews? What kind of went into your homework?
Absolutely. All of those combined. So I read lots of articles. And again, referencing the one that compared the chair I sat in to this chair was kind of the keystone article that I bookmarked it when I found it. And that's the one I kept coming back to. I'd go read other articles, look at other chairs, and then I keep returning back to that article and saying, this is the information right here that I was looking for. Yeah. Also watching videos. So I looked at some of your demo videos and especially enjoyed the one of putting the chair together. You have a video on what assembly looks like. Yeah. And that just was as I got very close to the purchase, gave me a lot of confidence in, okay, I can do this. Because honestly, had I not seen that video, when the box arrived, I would have been terrified out of my mind. It's a gigantic box and a lot of parts, and I don't know what's happening. But as I pulled it out, I told my wife, I know where this part goes. I know what this is going to do. I know where this goes. I've seen it unboxed and installed. So videos, reading articles, and really for me, you had the experience in store, scouring the internet for articles, of which, again, I found very few of value that I bookmarked. Even from Osaki's own website, there wasn't really the kind of information that I was really wanting, the detailed information, especially comparison of chairs that I was able to find across your site and through the articles. Okay. So that was really the treasure trove that gave me the videos and the articles that I needed to end up making my decision.
Awesome. Well, that 4,000 is it's kind of a workhorse. It's their flagship chair. It's kind of the chair that put Osaki on the map. Of course, they've come out with subsequent models and more expensive models, but that 4,000 has proven to be a real workhorse. That's the best word I can use to describe it. It's got a good feature set, but I rarely hear of any customers complaining of breakdowns. We just put 4 in the Salt Lake Airport for all the staff of the Salt Lake City Airport. Wow. And it gets used all day long by big burly guys. And I think we've had one problem where a bolt that was not put on originally correctly, it kind of stripped, but that's the only, there's never been any functional problem with the chair. So I'm very pleased with it. And obviously your experience with it backs that up.
Absolutely. And I'll say too, the warranty for it was amazing. That was one of the factors that really gave me comfort in that Osaki stood so firmly behind the chair. Yeah. That really was nice that they said, we believe this chair is really going to last in whatever environment you put it in. And here's our warranty. That really gave me confidence, because you don't want to spend that much money only for in a year and a half, 2 years, lots of things to start going wrong and you just to be stuck because, it just got out of its warranty. So I was really pleased with Osaki standing behind their product.
Yeah, they're a big company and they do stand behind. And of course, they're easily accessible if there's a problem. But if you ever have a problem with anything like them dragging their feet taking care of an issue, or you feel like you're not being heard or whatever, you can always contact me as well, and I'm always available to step in and expedite the process. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, is there anything else that you can think of that I haven't covered that you might want to share? Anything else about the chair or your buying experience or your anything else that comes to mind?
Sure. Well, I can just say again, the whole experience was one of, it was really a trust thing, right? Because again, having never seen the chair, all I'd seen was the one that I saw in store, and basically handing over such a large sum of money, it really came to, do I trust that this is the right chair, that these reviews are correct, that it is
Right.
going to last like it said it would. And just reflecting back on your website, the way that you shared reviews, information, showing people the chairs. It was very, it was easy to trust that you had the customer and my best interest at heart,
Great.
as opposed to you're just trying to make a sale. The way that you even offered, here's my number. Call me if you have a question. This is my line. You can get a hold of me. Ask me any questions about it. That just really gave me confidence that I wasn't buying a chair that someone was really spinning up to be a really great deal, and it turned out not to be. I was able to really trust through the research, through what you had to say, through the way that you stand behind your products, that it was okay to hand over my money and receive what I hoped would be as good as what was in store. And again, I just can't say enough good things about the chair and about my experience with it so far. It has been more than what I hoped it would be. I've been super pleased with it, and again,
Awesome.
I would recommend the experience to anyone.
Awesome. Well, spending when you stand back and look at it, of course, you've been through this where you've spent this amount of money from a person you've never met before on a
Yeah,
website that could be just run out of some dude's garage, that
absolutely.
could be shut down tomorrow. You really are putting a lot of trust when you're spending, and we have chairs that are $8,000 for heaven's sakes, like popular selling chairs. And
Wow.
the trust issue is huge, and we respect that. I mean, I would beg for the same kind of trust if I was buying something like that online as well. So the trust
Yes.
issue is big, and I'm glad you spoke to that. But
Yep.
yeah, that's a big thing.
Been very pleased.
Well, Isaac, thank you. It's been wonderful talking to you. I appreciate you coming on board here. I apologize for, imposing on your life. Everybody's got their lives and they're very busy, but I'm very, very grateful for your time. Your interview was great, and hopefully it'll benefit other people that'll be watching this, and we'll have it up on YouTube probably next week. And
Great.
but thank you so very, very much. Really
You're
appreciate it.
very welcome, and I do hope it helps other people experience the same experience that I've had. I've been very pleased.
Awesome, Isaac. All right, well, have a good night, and hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Thank you very much, sir. Take
You
care.
bet. See ya. Bye bye.